I want you to take 1 minute when you get to a place where you see a fast food restaurant. Just take 1 minute as you're driving by and count how many are in that space. And notice if it's in your neighborhood, if it's in what neighborhood is it in? Because I'm seeing a lot of them in the Black neighborhood. And I mean, they are stacked. Yesterday I was driving on two different areas. I think one was Riverdale and the other was I think it was Camp Creek. But anyway, as I'm driving along, I start counting fast food restaurants. I counted 11 in 1 minute in one place, and the other I counted like 14 or 15 or something. And my question is, why y'all eating so much? Like, what is going on that we need that much fast food to choose from? So I know a lot of people, buy food outside the home because they don't have time to cook. But some people just don't feel like cooking. But really, you just don't make the time to cook. Or maybe you don't realize how important it is that you cook for yourself. I don't know, but these fast food places are way, way too convenient. And not just fast foods. I mean, there were other restaurants that were not necessarily a drive-through, but they were soul food. So they were, kind of geared towards the Black community. I don't know. It was just kind of sad to see because, especially as somebody who loves to cook, when I talk to my clients, some of them will say they love to cook. Some of them will say they hate to cook, they don't cook, whatever. But I think we really need to understand that cooking is self-care. And to rely on someone else to care for you in that way, day in and day out, I can't imagine what that would make your health like, Now I get it, once a week or so, you want to, get your favorite whatever or DoorDash or whatever. That's not going to necessarily help you reach whatever health goals you have, but I get that. But it's when you are visiting these places, 2, 3, 4, and more times a week, you're leaving it up to somebody else to nourish you. That brings me back to the list of things that you like about yourself, because that is clearly a lack of self-care to depend on someone else to nourish you on a regular basis. To say that, I just don't have time, or I don't feel like it, I hate to do it, I hate to cook or whatever. I mean, because you can even get food at the grocery store that's partially cooked for you, that you bring it home and you put it in the oven. It's at least healthier food, than to just be grabbing something that's just quick and in a box. Man, that kind of hurt me to see that. Like, I mean, everything you could think of was right there within. I'm driving the regular speed limit. Within 1 minute, I saw every fast food place I could think of. And then I'm thinking, are these people, keeping these places alive? The people who live right nearby, you drive by and it's easy. Hey, thank you for the hearts. Got to put my glasses on to see who it is. Hi, Brand. Thank you so much for the hearts, for the love. I appreciate it. So then Do that. Do that for your homework. As you're driving through a place that does have fast food places, because they're not everywhere, they're strategically placed in the areas where they know they're going to get the most business. So look around and see, what area is that? Who lives in that area? Who is depending on all these places for their nourishment? And then I want you to do this. The next time you go to one of these places, look around and see what the people look like who eat there and who work there. What do their bodies look like? Do they look healthy? Do they look like what you would like to look like? Especially people who work there, because the people who work there are probably getting a tremendous discount or free food. So, what do they look like? Do they look healthy? Do they not? Just something to think about. But all these places are an easy distraction from your goals of lowering your blood sugar, lowering your cholesterol, lowering your weight, lowering your body fat percentage. All of these distract from that. And it's so easy to let that happen to you. So for those of you who are on a health journey, have some health goals, even if you haven't started yet, you just want to be healthier, want to change your habits, I want you to be mindful of what's stopping you. Are you telling yourself you don't have time? You don't have time to go to the gym. You don't have time. Even if you don't have time to go to the gym, you could work out at home. Well, I don't have weights at home. Well, you weigh something. You can lift yourself until you get those weights. Well, I hurt my whatever. Your whole body's not hurt. When people tell me, I'm going to try to make it to the gym, I'm going to try to go for my walks, I'm going to try to get myself. When you tell me try, that shouldn't be coming from your mouth unless you are laying in a hospital bed. Then yes, you are trying to get up out of there so you can make it to the gym. But if you are fully healthy, you can make it to the gym. You can do your workout. You don't have to try. It's about you making the decision. And it's not even the decision of, do I want to go to the gym? It's the decision of, do I want to be healthier? Do I want to improve my blood sugar, my sodium count, all those numbers? Do I want to improve the way I eat? Those are the things that you need to be focused on. Make up your mind. Do you want to live healthy? Do you want to feel better? You got to make a decision. And all those signs out telling you to come here, have some fried chicken. Come on, get them donuts. You got to ignore those. You got to have some backbone. Turn your head, close your eyes, drive the other way, whatever you got to do. When you make up your mind that you seriously want to improve how you feel, you want to improve your health, you want to live longer, you want to feel better, you want to lose weight, whatever. When you seriously make up your mind, I'm telling you, nothing is stopping you. And you're always going to get the test, the distraction, that's always going to come. And it's up to you to stand firm in what you say you want to do. I think back to when I was in college, and I decided that I wanted to lose weight. And so that first day, that I left my place. I had gone grocery shopping with my mom. She took me to, I forget, I think it might have been Savananda Market. I know we still have this in Atlanta. This was a long time ago. I don't even know if that was the name of it back then. It might have been a different market. But anyway, my mom took me to this one of these co-ops, got all these wonderful fresh veggies. And I was not one to really eat vegetables or even cook back then. But my mom had started eating so healthy. She lost all this weight. So I was like, I just want to do whatever you did. So, so she took me to the store. She bought me the stuff that she had been eating. I took it home. Y'all, I ain't really know how to cook. Even though my mom was the best cook ever, she always put me on baking. So I can make any cake, any cookie, any cupcake, all that. But cooking, that wasn't my thing. So you know what? I kind of think, no, she did take me. I was gonna say, I kind of think maybe she wasn't in town. But anyway, for whatever reason, maybe she cooked me one meal and left. But I had all this food there, and I started cooking it. It was so bad. I eat it anyway, but it was bad. So anyway, my test came as soon as I left my apartment. The next day, I went to school, and I went to get on MARTA. It's all kind of fuzzy, but anyway, I went to get on MARTA, and I think I was leaving school, and I needed change. Y'all, MARTA was less than $1. Like it might have been a quarter. I don't remember. I think it might have been a quarter. But anyway, I looked around trying to find some place to get some change. And guess what the only place that was open was? Y'all, it was Krispy Kreme. And Krispy Kreme was my serious weakness back then. If I haven't told you before, go over to YouTube and look at my Krispy Kreme testimony. That's what it's called, my Krispy Kreme testimony. But anyway, I had to go inside of Krispy Kreme on day one of making a decision to eat healthier. My goal was to lose weight. My decision was to eat healthy. So it starts with a decision. So I had to walk into Krispy Kreme and I said, I need to get may I get some change, please? And the girl at the register says, we don't give change unless you buy something. Now, you know that ain't nothing but the devil. Knowing that Krispy Kreme donut was my personal crack, to have me go in there and tell me I got to buy a freaking donut after I have made the decision to eat healthier, okay? But let me tell you how committed I was to my decision. I turned to the lady who was behind me in line and I said, ma'am, pick a donut out for yourself. And she got the donut, I got the change and went on about my business. And I knew then that I was going to lose that weight. I stood firm. There was no harder test for me than Krispy Kreme. So I knew then I was good to go. So after that, I went on to lose 30, I think it was like 30 or 32 pounds. I went from a size 16 to a size 6. People always say, how long did it take? I don't really know because I wasn't focused on that. I was focused on the decisions that I made each day to get there. I was focused on, did I decide to cook for myself? What did I decide to cook for myself? Did I pack snacks? How healthy were these snacks? Every day, those were the things that I had to have in my brain. I didn't have time to be looking at the scale, checking how everything fit. I just didn't. I was so focused on where I was going and how I was getting there. And then one day, and I estimated to be about 3 months, but one day people started telling me that, I look different, I lost weight. It was over the summer. School was out. So I think I must have had the Krispy Kreme incident at the end of the school year and then came back. I just remember it had to be over the summer because I remember when I went to school, somebody said, "Oh, I see you had the baby." I said, "No, I heard I was pregnant. I ain't had no baby. I just started eating healthy and lost weight." So I'm guessing it had to be over the summer. But listen, it's about what you focus on day to day, minute to minute. What decisions are you making for yourself day in and day out? Okay? Let me see who's with me. Yeah, honey, I was a big mama. Big mama. Dr. Michelle, my girl. Dr. Michelle, get on that walking pad with me. Let's get it, girl. Come on now. Let's get it. All right, y'all. So I won't be too long today because I got to get my best friend to the vet. There's all kind of distractions, okay? That's another distraction. That's taking me away from this. However, I know how many steps I got to take by the end of the day. So I may have to log off a little earlier than what I usually do. But that does not give me the excuse to not get these freaking steps in. Okay? And it doesn't give you an excuse. Sometimes folk be trying to find excuses instead of trying to find solutions. Come on now. What you want for yourself? What do you want for yourself 10 years from now? Especially my over 50 crew. Remember back in the day, we used to think 60 was old and decrepit. I'm 58. So I know I'm not about to be old and decrepit no time soon. But that's because of the way our people were living their lives and taking care of their temple or not. You have to move that body all the time. What's the little heart on my head? That's cute. I always see that, but I really don't know what that means. But if somebody gave me a heart, thank you. Hey, Sharice. Sharice is my stylist extraordinaire. Hello, Angela. Y'all welcome. Anyway, I lost my train of thought when I saw that heart jump up there. What was I talking about, y'all? But yeah, how do you want to be 10 years from now? That's what I was talking about. We used to think 60, 65, 70 was just old and beat down and barely moving. And a lot of people were. We don't have to be. We have the internet, y'all. There's absolutely no reason to not be educated on how to take care of your body. You could turn on your phone, your computer. You can get educated. You can get motivated. You can get supported. Like, come on now. It's no reason to be a hot mess, unhealthy, hunched over, lynching on 10 different meds by the time you're 60, 65. There's no reason for that today. Absolutely none, because a lot of things that we deal with can be reversed or prevented by how you eat, how you move your body, what you drink, what you think. And you have the power to change all of those if any one of them are not good for you. Okay? What you think, man, that's a big one, because that's where stress comes from. And you can have the healthiest diet, but if you're always stressed because Your mind's got you worried about something in the future that's probably not even going to happen. You're making yourself sick for nothing. They call it worried sick because you really are making yourself sick. So you have to get control over your thoughts. There's so much info. There are books out here. There's therapists. Like, there is no excuse other than you lack self-care because you lack self-love. And we can definitely talk more about that. You can go over and look at some of my videos on welldiva.com. youtube.com/@welldiva. All kind of videos over there about self-love. There's no excuse. It's out there. You can go to welldiva.com if you want other ways to help yourself. I do coaching. I do wellness retreats. Y'all, it's time to love yourself more, okay? They say love your neighbor as you love yourself. Damn, do you love yourself first? Because the way some people treat themselves, I don't want you loving me like that. Yes, ma'am, Sharice. Showing up. Hello, Dolores Williams. All right, y'all. I was really trying to get to 40 minutes, but I know I need to be leaving my house right about now.